Welcome. Let's take a look at our top story. Russia has completed clinical trials of a second potential vaccine against COVID-19. The vaccine has been developed by Siberia's Vector Institute. Now, the institute completed early-stage human trials known as Phase 2 earlier this month, and the new vaccine will be called Epivaccorona. Russian President Vladimir Putin, in an announcement made last week, said that the new vaccine will be registered by the 15th of October. In August, Russia became the first country in the world to register a vaccine, Sputnik V. While the vaccine has shown promising results in early trials, Russia has not yet completed the final phase of clinical testing, in which large numbers of people receive either the vaccine or a placebo. Putin also complimented the country's ability to counter the pathogen, adding that the healthcare system is now ready to efficiently counter COVID-19. Russian President Vladimir Putin, in a video address to the United Nations General Assembly last week, said that Russia was open to partnership with other countries over the first vaccine in the world, Sputnik V. He cited cases of the coronavirus among the UN staff and offered to give them the Sputnik V vaccine. Now, Julia Chapman joins us live from Moscow for more on this. Good afternoon to you, Julia. It's great to have you with us. Now, Epivaccorona, this vaccine will be registered by the 15th of October, according to the announcement that we heard from Russian President Putin. This is the second vaccine out of Russia.
It is indeed. This is the second candidate for Russia's vaccine against coronavirus. It comes after the first one was registered by Russian regulators in August, and the second one is expected to be registered in the next couple of weeks. And this is an acceleration of the normal process because the first vaccine candidate was registered before Phase 3 of clinical trials had even begun. Now, those got underway this month, and we understand that some 5,000 people have already been inoculated with the Gamaleya vaccine known as Sputnik V. But now the second candidate is coming up behind it, this new one from Vector, the Siberian laboratory, which has been leading the way with scientific research here in Russia, and has now come up with the next candidate for a vaccine against coronavirus.
Right, and there has, of course, been a lot of criticism the world over in terms of speed that these vaccines are being pushed through testing and then being made really available prior to the completion of testing.
There has been a lot of criticism, and that's been met with explanations from the vaccine developers of Sputnik V and the body that has been financing it, the Russian Direct Investment Fund, which has been financing all of the vaccine programs here in Russia. And they say that there's nothing wrong with the way they're doing things. They're still going through all of the safety measures that are necessary. Nevertheless, there is still criticism from epidemiologists and other world health experts that say just by simply registering the vaccine before the trials have finished undermines the very validity of the vaccine trials because it assumes that there will be a positive result. Now, of course, the results of the Phase 3 trials for Sputnik V are still unknown. We're expecting to get some preliminary results by the end of October, and if they don't go well, then of course the registration could still be rescinded and it would be stopped from reaching the wider public. Nevertheless, alongside Phase 3 of the clinical trials, some members of the vulnerable populations, those who work in the medical industry, those who are doctors and nurses as well as teachers, have also been offered the Sputnik V vaccine, despite the fact that it still hasn't finished its clinical trials.
Right, and Julia, Putin has complimented his country's ability to now counter COVID-19, and he says that the system is ready to efficiently counter it. Has there been any other verification from another global body or study in the same?
Not yet, and certainly not with regards to the way that Russia has handled COVID-19. With regards to the vaccines themselves, Sputnik V, the first vaccine candidate, had its data published in the international medical journal The Lancet. That was hailed as a vindication moment for Russia because it gave it validity the world over. It was still met with criticism about the size of the pool of the data. They said it was very small, some critics, and there were also concerns about repetition of data. Nevertheless, we expect to hear more when Phase 3 of the clinical clinical trials ends. With regards to Russia's broader handling of COVID-19, Russia does say that it has gotten the virus under control and indeed over the summer was able to open the country fully after a very strict lockdown, at least here in Moscow. Nevertheless, the cases are now rising and there are concerns that there could be a second lockdown in the offing, although President Putin has denied that we would see the same measures here that we did earlier in the spring. But a number of hospitals here in Moscow are now being reprofiled to accept COVID-19 patients once again.
Julia, thank you very much for bringing us that report and analysis there.